From Sun Valley Lanes and Games in Lincoln, Nebraska, Nebraska Public Media Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is proud to bring you the 2025 NSAA State High School Bowling Championships. And for the first time ever, we are live for these championships tonight in Class B. We'll crown a new champ in girls Class B action, and also the boys Class B coming up later tonight, tomorrow night. The Class A takes center stage as both the boys and girls will battle for a state title tomorrow night. And hello again, everyone, and welcome inside the Bowling Center. Along with Carla Bandemer, I'm Larry Putney, a couple of former Husker bowlers. Really excited to bring you this live action tonight from here in Lincoln. And we're going to have a new champ tonight in Class B girls.
We are. We've got the Northwest Vikings coming out of the losers bracket to take down four-time state champion Wayne to make it here to the championship match tonight. And
then coming up later tonight in Class B, it's Pius taking on Wayne in a battle of 1 versus 2. Should be fantastic action tonight from Sun Valley Lanes and Games in Lincoln. Come on back. State championships coming your way.
Why is it important to fill out your FAFSA?
First off,
it's how you apply for federal,
state, and most college-based financial aid.
It's easier to fill out than you think.
Start college on the right track.
You don't have to pay for college on your own.
Education Quest is here to help.
For more information, go to educationquest.org.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Nebraska Public Media salutes Nebraska's history.
People have followed the Platte River westward from wagon wheels to car tires. Our official state river has guided people along its stunning 310 miles. The Platte begins in Wyoming and Colorado in two separate rivers, the North and the South, and merge near the city of North Platte. The Platte has grown our farms and our cities along its banks, and on February 26, 1998, the Platte River was declared to be the official state river.
This Nebraska History Moment was presented by Nebraska Public Media.
Nebraska Public Media Sports presents women's professional volleyball. The Omaha Supernovas take the court at CHI Health Center against the San Diego Mojo. Live from Omaha, Sunday, February 16th at 3 p.m. Central on Nebraska Public Media.
Welcome back here to Sun Valley Lanes and Games as we get set for the 2025 Girls State Bowling Championships, and we begin tonight in Class B as it's the Elkhorn Antlers coming in seeded number 5, taking on the Vikings of Northwest. Here's where these two teams came from. Of course, Elkhorn not too far from here in Lincoln, just outside of Omaha. Northwest Vikings in Grand Island, and there is where each of these two teams comes from. Take a look at the bracket. Who do they beat to get here? Well, it was an impressive run for Elkhorn, who knocked off Lexington in 3-1 in the finals after losing to them earlier. And then on the bottom half of the bracket, it was Grand Island Northwest advancing with a win over 4-time state champion Wayne. So we will crown a new champ here in Class B. Well, it's not just a house pattern that these bowlers bowl on. This is a more difficult shot, and it's called a challenge pattern. It's kind of that transition between a house pattern, Carla, and what would be a sport pattern. So a little more difficult than what you might see if you just came out during the week and bowled at a bowling alley.
Yeah, Larry, you're exactly right. The girls are bowling on a 44-foot pattern. A typical house pattern is 40 to 42 feet long. What this 44-foot pattern means is that there isn't quite as much back end to work with. The back end is those last 20 or so feet of the lane. The girls are going to have to play more of a direct line to the pocket. They aren't going to get as much hook on the back end of the lane. 44 feet of oil does give a little more room for mistakes, though. That long pattern down the middle of the lane is going to be more forgiving when it comes to errant shots.
All right, time to introduce you to the athletes, and for that, let's go to Seth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sun Valley Lanes and Games in the 2025 NSAA State Bowling Girls Team Championship. The NSAA is proud to recognize Farmers Mutual of Nebraska and all NSAA corporate partners for their outstanding support of NSAA activities, especially Nebraska Orthopedic Center, the NSAA's orthopedic and sports medicine partner for Lincoln Area Championships. Tonight's championship match features the number 5 seed, the Elkhorn Antlers, against the number 3 seed, the Northwest Vikings. Tonight's match will be a winner-take-all, best 3 of 5 Baker format to determine a champion. Now, let's meet the teams. First, the Antlers of Elkhorn High School. A junior number 7, Jocelyn Hobach. A junior number 10, Megan Erdkamp. A sophomore number 13, Ella Foshi. A sophomore number 15, Samantha Michau. A junior number 18, Lorena Mischler. A senior number 25, Kinsey Castile. The coaches of the Antlers, Chris Kurt, and the head coach of Elkhorn is Kelly McMeekin. Now for the Vikings of Northwest High School. A senior number 15, Callie Fenster. A freshman number 28, Desi Hartford Rivera. A senior number 10, Faith Lamb. A sophomore number 7, Callie Sundberg. A junior number 16, Lizzie Walton. And a senior number 3, Hannah Weeks. Coaches of the Vikings, Shaylee Bradley, and the head coach of Northwest is Nikki Bradley. And now let's bowl in the 2025 NSAA State Championship Finals.
Good to have you with us as we get set to crown state champs tonight in Class B. First on the girls' side, then on the boys. Here's a look at the Antlers lineup. Go back to junior averages 133. Erdkamp will be in that 2-hole. Foshi and Michaud, both sophomores. Mischler and Castile, that is the lineup for the Antlers of Elkhorn and Coach Mac, Kelly McMeekin. Here's a look at the Vikings, head coach Nikki Bradley. Hannah Weeks is the senior. They are led by Faith Lamb, another senior who averages over 180. She'll be the anchor bowler for the Vikings and lead the way, and there is the rest of the lineup for the Vikings. So ready to go here. Elkhorn up first on that left lane. Leadoff bowler number 7, Jocelyn Hobach. Hobach rattles him and leaves the 7 pin. So now up on the right lane, Desi Rivera. Desi averages 162. Needed that to climb a bit. Still has the 245 remaining. With Carlin, these state championships, it's so important to stay clean, and by staying clean, we mean convert your spares.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things when I bowled at Nebraska, the Coach Straub, the legendary Coach Straub, would just drill into us was strikes win games, but spares win championships.
He drilled that into me too. It didn't soak in. I think that was the problem. Desi trying to convert, crosses over and converts. Nice conversion to the 245 there for Desi Rivera.
And you know, when you talk to some of the coaches of these championship teams, one of the things that they talk about is how much time they spend in practice working on spares. We can shoot pocket shots all day long, but we really need to make sure we're staying clean and picking up those spares, and so that's something that is heavily focused on in practice.
So now up in the right lane, Lizzie Walton. Lizzie is a junior, one of the most improved bowlers for Northwest over the year. Trying to get the 10 out and does not, and leaves a very difficult split. 4-10 remaining. Quickly up on that left lane and just brushing the 4-pin and converting in the spare, the first of the match for Elkhorn.
Lizzie comes from a bowling background. She's got parents who met on UNL's college bowling team.
Wow.
Right? So fun.
Needs that to slide just a bit. Megan Erdkamp on the left-hand lane. You see a lot of these Elkhorn ladies play up the boards, straight ahead. Whereas Grand Island Northwest, they'll be more out in the track area around 10 board, playing up the lanes. There's a good example there. That'll cross over, tries to carry, leaves the 5.
And like we said, talking about this long oil pattern, 44 feet is a long oil pattern, especially for girls. So laying up that direct line up the middle is a little advantageous.
Right. So Callie Finster here on the right lane will try to convert. The 5-pin needs to slide, and it does. And the conversion for Finster for Grand Island Northwest. Quickly up on that left-hand lane, and another 4-10 split as that comes in just high.
And that's one of the tricky things about the oil pattern playing this way. Lack of hook on the back end means that when you do shoot up the middle, you might be in some trouble, like what we just saw there, that ball is not going to hook out of there and give you what we call a Brooklyn, where if you're a right-handed bowler, it crosses over to the left side. We call that a Brooklyn, and her ball just didn't do that.
Callie Sundberg leaves the 4-7-10. So back to the right-hand lane. Bowling on lanes 27 and 28 here at Sun Valley Lanes. Going to try to slide that over. Had a chance to send the 4 across the lane. Wasting no time as Elkhorn in that left lane. It comes in from the Brooklyn side. A little backup ball, kind of a slight backup ball there for Elkhorn.
And that's at least the second time that we've seen a 5-pin be left, which means we've got a ball deflecting off of the pins where it's not. The 5-pin sits right behind the head pin, and so when the ball deflects off the head pin, you're going to leave that 5-pin. The advantage to leaving the 5-pin is you can just throw your strike shot again.
Little inside of target there for Faith Lamb, the senior. And tries to convert to 5 and does. So this is Baker bowling. Each bowler bowls 2 frames. The first bowler up will bowl the 1st and 6th frames. Bowler number 2 will bowl the 2nd and 7th, and so on. So typically your best bowler you put in this spot right here, and that's why Faith Lamb with the conversion there, because they will have an opportunity to bowl in the 10th, which means spare and you get the extra shot, or possibly throw 3 in a row.
And she's lined up too. That was another pocket shot right there.
Early lead here through 5 frames. Now in Sun Valley Baker, they will switch lanes at the halfway point. So as we head to the 6th frame here, Hoback is back up on the right-hand lane. Misses that wide right, and some work yet to do for Jocelyn. So here's the freshman. Desi Rivera. Good game leadoff spot for a freshman. Came in just a little light. Washout. 1-2-10. Rattles him, but cannot convert. So through 6 frames for the Antlers, 4 open frames. That's certainly not what got them here to this state championship, but as you know, the lights, here in this arena, the screens, you can see yourself down lane. On TV, you can see yourself up above, and so it takes a bit of adjustment.
It's such a different environment when you're bowling for a championship on television. You don't normally have the lights on the lane. You don't normally have the big screen where, like you said, Larry, you can see yourself. That's
right.
That's not normal. But also, it's quieter, which it seems silly, but usually at a bowling tournament, it's very noisy. You've got 30 lanes, going at a time, and now it's really quiet and all eyes are on you. So it definitely takes some time to adjust to this new environment.
Lizzie Walton in the pocket. Comes up a bit high. Leaves the 4-7. Manageable work there for Lizzie. And right at the 5-pin and picked it up. Elkhorn needed that to get going. Just trips that 5-pin.
And several of these players are throwing plastic balls, which may be one of the reasons we're seeing a lot of 5 pins being left. Is those plastic balls will typically deflect right off the head pin.
Did not quite hook across lane. One of the things that we've seen in this pattern throughout the day is you miss inside a little bit, and boy, does it jump, and it goes left in a hurry. You miss right, like outside of board 10, and it's really tough to get the ball to react. And so for these players, they're really dealing with a very small target that they're trying to hit right around 10 board. Or just inside of that. I would say a lot of them were playing around 12 or 13.
Yeah, if you sort of think of the lane in fourths and number it 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right, that third spot is kind of where we're looking for them, our right-handed bowlers, to bowl. And if they miss a little bit to the left on that, maybe not as troublesome, but like you said, it's a tight window that they've got to get that ball into.
Just slides by the 10-pin. So still anybody's game here in game 1. This is a best of 5 Baker format. So we're already in the 9th frame. 5-pin lead right now for the Vikings. But a big shot, first strike of the match. And Kinsey Castile, the senior, with a big shot for Elkhorn. Crosses it over and carried them all. Let's see if there's an answer here from Sundberg. Good roll by Sundberg, comes in high. 6-10 remains. Opportunity here to take the lead if Elkhorn can strike right here. Backup ball, and again leaves the 6-10. Great cover. So that's spare, and the lead stays with the Vikings thanks to the conversion. And must spare here for Elkhorn. To get over, and does. Comes in high.
Same lead.
Here's the 6-10. Big shot right there. So 130 is the score for Elkhorn. So a must spare here for Northwest. And Faith Lamb has to have it, and got it. And now Faith needs 8 to win by 1 pin. Needs 8 pins on this shot, and the Vikings take game 1.
From experience, Larry, sometimes you don't want to know how many pins you need. You just want to focus on make a good shot, and what will be will be. Sometimes it's almost like if I know I need 8, maybe I'm only going to get 7, but he's got enough.
Got it. That's enough. And the Vikes take game number 1 over Elkhorn. 132 to 130 in this best of 5 Baker's battle. Boy, great mix. Boy, that was light. Just got the head pin in the mix. So now you can settle it a little bit, right? All right, so here comes Desi Rivera to begin game number 2, but it's always important to win that first one, right? Get out in front, put a little pressure on your opponent.
Oh, absolutely. Just it puts you in such a different mindset when you are up 1 match, 1 game.
Here's a ball change for Desi. She's going to the Venom. So probably wasn't getting the kind of reaction she had hoped out of her previous ball. Moves outside, goes to the Venom. Pretty good ball change, comes up a little light. 2-4-5 remain.
These 2 players playing in the 1 hole, the leadoff spot, is such an important, crucial spot to be in the lineup in a Baker match, because the rest of the team is sort of watching what happens with your ball to make some decisions on what they may want to do on their shot. So you're putting your most consistent players in that spot so that you can look for a read from them on how the lane is breaking down.
She leaves the 4 pin. Rivera cross lane at it. It's just a little too much. And again, it's what we had seen occasionally throughout the day. If you just miss a little in, that ball picks up, and it does hook right by the 2 pin, which he was targeting. And a spare conversion. So Elkhorn with the early lead here in game number 2. Glad you could join us here on Nebraska Public Media for these first ever live televised high school bowling championships. What we call a week 10. Here's that plastic ball you talked about, right down the middle, crosses over and gets the carry. Samantha Michow with that strike. There's a good react from Michow, who was clean last game, so she has marked every time she's been up. And good cover. Lizzie Walton with a spare. Megan Erdkamp on the right lane. That 2 crosses over and leaves a 5 pin.
Erdkamp talked about one of her strengths of her game is being coachable, and that's one of the things that high school players and high school coaches are really looking for, is somebody who's going to be willing to be coached, be willing to try new things, challenge themselves with their games, and that's one of the strengths that Megan brings to the team.
The baby split 4-5. And misses the 5 pin. There are 4 of these antler bowlers for Elkhorn. They're all over, 4 of them are over 16 miles an hour when they throw the ball. That's some good pace.
That's impressive.
Now they're much more direct, right? So they're not going to get revs. They're not going to get angle in the pocket. Probably not going to carry quite as well. But speed helps.
Speed helps, yeah. When you have fewer revs on the ball,
yep,
speed is your friend.
Crosses over. Leaves the 6 pin. Good shot, needs to finish, gets the mix, and does not push that 7 pin off the deck.
One of the most frustrating things when you have so much pin action around a pin and it just won't fall.
So hold on, that one went just wide right. Back-to-back opens there for Elkhorn. And the Vikings right back in it with a spare here.
Callie carries a 4.0 GPA, which is honestly something that I could say for so many of these players. They're all such good students and involved in so many other things besides bowling. Slides right past that.
So the lead here in game number 2. Elkhorn leads through 4 by 13, just misses the 7. Marina Mishler. Mishler leaves the 5 pin. It's hard to tell the numbers for Elkhorn. They blend into the back of their uniforms. Comes up light. Both of these anchors, both Lorena Mishler and Faith Lamb, were clean in the first game, which means I just jinxed her.
You did.
Which means they had not had an open. That's the first open for Lorena. And now Faith will try to stay clean here and pull the Vikes back to within 10. Needs to hook. Well, there you go.
So we're back to the start of the lineup, back up to the top.
Yep. They'll switch sides for the 6th frame.
Desi Rivera here, like I said, so many of them involved in so many other things. Desi is involved in FBLA, marching band, and athletic training. In fact, wants to go into physical therapy when she graduates and heads off to college.
So now she'll pull out her IQ to pick up the spare. A lot of these players have not only a ball that they throw for their first shot, but also spare balls as well. It just goes much straighter, easier to predict, easier to go cross lane, especially when you're trying to get a combination with the 10 pin out like this. This would be a 6-10. And nice conversion for Rivera.
And she had just enough revs on that to keep it from sliding past it and bring up just a little bit to the left.
Lizzie Walton up on the right-hand lane now, working on a spare. Elkhorn has opened 4 consecutive. They've had 3 single pin misses in a row in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
And the way bowling is scored, you're rewarded for that spare. When you're working on an open, you just get the pin count that you get on that shot. But when you're working on a spare, the way that we see here, she's got her pin count plus 10 from the past, from the frame right before it.
Crosses over, gets the strike, Lizzie Walton. The back-to-back marks for the Vikes. You say crosses over when it goes to the opposite side, known as a Brooklyn or a crossover strike. And now 5 straight opens for Elkhorn, and the Vikes have regained the lead here in the 7th. Callie Finster up on the right-hand lane. Pretty good shot, needs to finish, it did not. 1-2-8 left. She's got a sleeper back there, so has to be a little more direct on this spare. And also a 1-2-8.
So look for these players to start adjusting their feet to the right. They may be looking at the same spot, but we're seeing quite a few players come up light or miss the head pin entirely. And so the adjustment for that, if you're going to keep the same ball and you're going to keep the same spot on the lane, is to move your feet just a board or two to the right. It doesn't have to be a huge adjustment.
Just missed. Takes the 2-pin away from the 1-8. Let's see if Erdkamp can convert. She can. That's a big spare for Elkhorn, who had opened 5 consecutive. Now back to the right-hand lane. Sundberg in the pocket. Got the carry. Big shot in the setup frame of the 9th. And this is another one that's going to come down to the 10th frame. Here's Kinsey Castile. Castile misses just right, leaves a 2-8. That's a sleeper. It's going to be tough, especially when you play so direct or straight. That's going to be a much more difficult spare.
Yeah, and Larry, this is why there is some strategy behind your lineup. You want your strongest player, your most consistent striker or spare maker to be in your 10th frame, but you also want somebody really solid in your 9th frame to set them up. We just talked about having some advantage to a striker, a spare paired up back to back, and so you want somebody who's going to fill up the 9th frame with a striker, a spare, to maximize your score in the 10th frame.
Took the 8 off the 2. Still anybody's game here in game 2. This split certainly makes it difficult for the Vikes as they get 1. And the Vikes will finish at 124. So on the left-hand lane, Mishler needs a mark. Desperately needs a spare. And leaves the 5-pin. So if she picks this up and gets 5 pins, Elkhorn can take game number 2.
And again, all she needs to do is throw the same shot. She's going to hit the same spot. That 5-pin sits right behind the head pin.
Northwest leads the best of 5, 1-0. They took game 1. Needs this spare. Big conversion. Crowd knew it. So now 5 pins for the win.
Mishler has only been bowling for 2 years. She actually was the basketball manager, but decided she wanted something different. And
well, the different,
yep.
The different leads to the win here in game number 2. Knotted at 1 game apiece between Elkhorn and Grand Island Northwest for the state title in girls Class B. One of these 2 programs will win its first ever NSAA state championship, and there you see the scores through 2. Vikings won the first, 132-130. Antlers take the second, 127-124. Elkhorn will start us off on the left-hand lane, number 27. Here's Rivera. Pretty good shot. Good looking. Got it. 10-pin goes. Just a freshman. You see that 10 goes late. Moves it right in the middle of the lane.
And that might indicate the need to move maybe a half a board to the right just to be sure that that 10-pin gets taken out.
So early advantage here to Northwest.
Larry, we talk about board moves. Those boards on a lane and on an approach are about 3/4 of an inch wide.
Right.
So when we're talking about movements, we're talking about really small movements, but they make a big difference in the trajectory, the angle that the ball is going to come in on. Beautiful strike right there.
Back to back for the Vikes. Rivera and Walton go back to back. Boy, good shot there.
Beautiful. Much more pin action happening there.
Now, if you're Elkhorn, you don't want to fall too far behind. You really need to spare here. As Finster is up trying to make it 3 in a row. Pretty good shot for Finster. It's in the pocket, but leaves the 5-pin. "39 boards on a lane, and unlike reading, you count right to left if you're a right-hander. So that first arrow that you see in the middle of the lane, that would be board 5. Good spare conversion there. You see the arrows out there in the middle lane, that's board 5, 10, 15. So the middle arrow is board 20, and you see that rolled right over about board 12. Solid conversion to pick up the 5.
And if you're not a bowler, you may not know that's what you're looking at.
Right.
You're not looking at the pins when you make a shot. You're looking at the arrow that you're intending the ball to roll over.
And there you can see the arrows in the lane, 5 boards between each arrow. Total of 39 from gutter to gutter. That's right over 8. Needs to react. It does, but does not get the 10-pin out. Good shot there by Callie. This Grand Island Northwest team this year, a big accomplishment. They beat their hometown rival for the first time, Grand Island Senior High. Big win over Gish. This is the second ever appearance at the state tournament. First ever time in the finals for both of these teams. Good spare conversion there. That baby split, nice job. Put it right where it had to be. And that just misses wide. So back-to-back marks for Elkhorn, and they're right back in it. Six pin. So Faith Lamb back on the right-hand lane.
We talked about teams practicing spares at practice rather than just consistently practicing strike shots. Another thing that a lot of teams will spend time practicing is their accuracy. And an easy way to do that is to lay some tape down on the lane where you intend to throw the ball, whichever arrow or board you're aiming for, and you'll hear a thud as it rolls over that tape. And so you can literally hear whether you hit your mark or not.
Right. Then I think as you get into advanced lane play, you also have another piece of tape down lane to your break point. So whatever the length of the pattern is, that's typically where you want your ball to exit the oil. So if it's a 44-foot pattern, or in this case, a 44-foot pattern at 44 feet, you want to target something down lane where you're exiting the oil.
Exactly. In that case, you're listening for 2 thuds.
Right.
Did you hit your mark at the arrows, and did you hit your mark at the break point?
We mentioned off the top, it's really hard to see the numbers for Elkhorn, so we apologize if we've been giving you wrong players, because I think we were just handed that maybe they're in a different lineup than we were given by Coach McMeekin. So Hoback is leading off. Michaud is bowling second. Erdkamp third. Castile is fourth. And Mishler is bowling fifth. I think that's the lineup she gave us. So maybe we haven't misidentified anybody. Right through the face. 6, 7, 10.
A split like the 6, 7, 10, it's a makeable split. It's hard to make it. You really have to hit those 2 pins just right. And so often when you leave something like the 6, 7, 10, you want to go for pin count. You want to make sure that you get the 6 and the 10 out.
So the 6, 7, 10 is a makeable to you. I'm glad you were not my coach.
It's makeable.
That is in whose world?
It's not easy.
Okay.
But it's makeable.
All right. When I think of makeable, I think of 5 pin. That's makeable.
Walton, number 2 in her class with a 4.0 GPA. Another player with a 4.0 GPA.
Look! Ooh. Well, you can see we saw so many times today. If you get out near the gutter here, it's just not going to recover.
And Lizzie has actually said one of her strengths is coming back after guttering.
Well, there you go. This should be a great shot. No damage. She wasn't on a spare, so didn't lose any pin count with the gutter. Would be really nice to come back and pick up the spare. Needs that to react. It does. Well, she did bounce back. Just could not slap the 7. Boy, good mix there. Sent that 5-pin sideways. Did not get the 7, though. So here's Michaud on the right-hand lane. And Samantha's leaves this head pin. 103-75 through 7. Commanding lead right now for the Vikes. Finster. Pretty good shot. That too just a light hit. But once again, leaves the 2-4-5. Seen a lot of 2-4-5s, 4-5s.
And those are all indications that the ball is coming in light.
Yep.
We need to make a move to the right.
Or maybe go with a more aggressive ball. Something that's going to pick up and read the lane a little sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good cover. Pfister with the mark.
Megan up now for Elkhorn. Has only been bowling for 2 years, but has lettered both of those years in bowling.
So a mark in the 8th for the Vikes and an open in the 8th for the Antlers. And that gap here late in game number 3 widens as the Vikings lead it. That's not going to get back either. I think this is one of the more difficult state tournament patterns we've seen, especially for the girls. You know, these ladies started bowling this morning at 8 a.m. Most of them were here at 7 when the doors opened, you know, to get shoot up and get loose and get ready. So they have been here all day long bowling this morning. Had a bit of a break while the boys competed this afternoon, but it's been a long day. And even throughout the morning, you just realize the scores were very low on the girls' side. And I think we're seeing that here too. I mean, typically in a state championship match, you might see scores around 180, 190, right? We're seeing 130 and 140 winning games right now as that goes straight through the face, leaves the 4-6.
When John Lazito, the proprietor of Sun Valley Lanes, and I talked about the patterns that he had laid down for these championship matches, he talked about how he didn't want them to be predictable. He didn't want teams to be able to say, well, I bet it's going to be like what it was last year. So it is challenging, and that's on purpose. And it's different than it has been in the past, but that's on purpose.
John, mission accomplished. It was not predictable. A tough shot.
And there's sort of degrees of oil patterns. Your typical house shot, what you're just going to walk in and see lay down on a lane.
Yep.
A sport, all the way up to a sport shot, which is what pros play on. This is a challenge shot, so it's somewhere in the middle. It's more challenging than a house shot. It's not as challenging as a sport shot.
Sub here in the 10th for Northwest. That's Hannah Weeks, a senior.
Weeks heading off to UNK after she graduates, majoring in early childhood education.
Very cool. So it is converted. Nice job by Weeks as the Vikes take game number 3, and they now lead it 2-1 over Elkhorn and 1 game away from their first ever NSAA state championship. Nikki Bradley and her team have certainly been in state championship finals before. Previously, when it was the Nebraska High School Bowling Federation, Northwest had such a great reputation for outstanding bowlers and on the boys and girls side. But this, the first time they've been in these NSAA state championships. And of course, this sport became sanctioned, an official varsity sport through the NSAA 5 years ago. This is year number 5 as we celebrate the accomplishments of all of these high school bowlers.
And such a credit to the Nebraska bowling community. They fought hard for years to get high school bowling into the NSAA, and they've been welcomed with open arms by the organization, and they just really do a top-notch job with high school bowling.
That's what I heard. I heard they worked pretty hard to get it sanctioned.
Were you a part of that, Larry?
Ooh, just takes that 10 pin off.
Great way to make that spare. Lizzie Walton, a junior, trying to decide between UNK or USD, but thinking pre-dental when she heads off to college.
And a carry. That's a big strike for Elkhorn, trying to send this to a deciding 5th game. Nice shot by Megan Erdkamp. Made some changes in the lineup here for this 4th game, as Mackenzie Castile will bowl next for Elkhorn. That needs to slide, does not. Back-to-back opens for the Vikes, back-to-back marks for Elkhorn. Good count. Good pin count on a strike.
Good count, but a challenging spare.
Yes. It's going to come up light as well. And again, 2-4-5.
These are both challenging spares to make because they're a little bit unforgiving in how the ball has to hit the pins. When you've got a 1-5 like that.
And that's,
yep.
There's the example, right?
There's the example. You've got that 1-5, you need to get the ball straight through, but then you also have that 3-pin sitting there too, so you've got to find a way to get the ball over enough to clip the 3-pin, but not so far over that the pins are going to bounce off the 5-pin.
One of those where you really need to hook at it.
Yep.
Very difficult to pick up with throwing it as straight as Elkhorn does. Got the 10 out, but still has the 3-9 remaining. And another sleeper. 3 consecutive opens for the Vikes. Let's see if Callie Sundberg can put a stop to it. Pretty good shot here by Sundberg. Got it out, 7-pin goes. Back it up, right into there. Good conversion. Solid conversion in the 4th frame for Lorena Mischler. Back-to-back strikes. So after the 3 opens, they answer with a double. Not so fast, say the Antlers. Getting a little more comfortable here in the stadium arena, right?
One of the things that Northwest girls talked about was how exciting it was for them to come out of the losers bracket, beat Wayne to get here. So they've got that energy going for them. They've got that sort of mental pathway that they're really riding on. which Elkhorn doesn't, right? They came out of the winner's bracket, and so there may be some different mindset coming on here. That's going to be a tough spare.
Yep.
The 1-5-6-10, I think.
Good cover. 3 consecutive marks for the Vikings.
So in a match like this with a spare like this, that's probably not a makeable spare. You have to decide which pair do I go for.
Yep. Threw probably 3 makeable there, right? Probably could have got head pin and taken the ball into the 6-10. So now we're in the 7th frame. Vikings, depending on count here, have regained the lead after the double and the spare. Crosses over, rolls, but does not trip the 3. So a 2-pin advantage. Good aggressive shot there. 7-pin remains.
You see Erdkamp throwing this Columbia 300. This is her only ball. One thing that's making a difference here is that's an 11-pound ball. Often you'll see high school and collegiate players using 13, 14, 15-pound balls. The weight of the ball makes a difference in how much pin action you're going to get, particularly if you have higher or lower revs on the ball.
Right. Work remaining there. 1, 2, 4, 10. Important shot here. Big strike, and right back in it with that shot. So if you can slide that head pin over. Looking for the double. Big double. Strike in the 8th and 9th, and the Antlers have regained the lead.
Great shot.
Boy, that's where that speed and be around the pocket can create some carry.
Needs to hook out.
Did cross over, but now needs to convert with Elkhorn on a double. Stepping up in the 10th frame. I believe it's Michau now. Ooh. Big split. This is going to come down to the last frame again. Oh, and that's a tough missed spare. Still an opportunity here for Northwest to win this, but it's going to take at least a double for their anchor bowler, Faith Lamb. So the final score for the Antlers, 152. It's going to 3 in a row.
Lamb is an accomplished player. She has been a Pepsi winner, state Pepsi winner 2 times.
Oh, what a great shot.
Yes.
And rings a 10-pin. Did exactly what she had to do, but it's not going to be enough, and the Antlers are going to win game number 4, and we are going to a deciding 5th here for the Class B Girls State Championship. Been back and forth for both of these teams all day long. Elkhorn got here with a couple of wins over Lexington. Northwest knocked off 4-time defending champ Wayne back-to-back to get here to the finals. And so why would we not expect it to go to 5? Crosses over. 143 the score for the Vikings, 152 for Elkhorn. And it is knotted at 2. 1 game remains, and we will crown a state champ. And there you see the Vikes take the 1st and 3rd, Antlers the 2nd and 4th. And Hoback will lead it off for Elkhorn.
Desi Rivera, multiple all-tournament team appearances across this bowling season.
Oh, what a great shot.
Slides right through.
Opportunity to take the lead. Solid conversion. Megan Erdkamp, the junior. Got to 5 out. Head pin off the wall and carries the 5. Watch again. Watch that head pin come off the wall, back here, take out the 5.
And she had a lot of speed on that ball, which is, like I said, she's throwing an 11-pound ball, so that speed plays to her advantage.
Lizzie Walton needs to hook. It does. Just a weak 10. Pretty good shot.
The ball's reaction will tell a story on how you're throwing the ball. And you saw her ball hook, but then die a little bit. It didn't keep hooking. It sort of hooked and then stopped. That's often an indication that one of the things she may want to work on is the release.
Walton trying to convert the 10. Oh, you can see she lost it. Needs to hook a little bit. It does. Whew. Deep breath there from Lizzie Walton. Got that to hold on. Off her hand, I think she thought she'd missed it.
Fencer now for Northwest, a senior on the team, heading off to Peru State College, planning to major in criminal justice.
Crossover, got it. Big strike for Finster. Vikes firing it also. Got the 7-pin. Boy, watch the 7-pin hang. Let's see what comes. Is that a head pin? Nope, that was.
Was it the head pin?
Right there. No, it was the, I think it was the 2-pin.
Okay.
Maybe the 4.
Okay. I trust you.
Tough to see that, yeah. I think it was the 4-pin that just kind of laid in the channel and barely clipped the 7. Northwest still with the lead. Trying Trying to stay clean. Ooh. Mishler just slides by. Big opportunity here for the Vikings and Faith Lamb. Good shot by Faith. Ooh.
Not what she wanted.
Just jumped right at the last minute. Looked like it was going to hold the pocket. And just took a left turn. Had a chance to watch Faith bowl earlier this year here at Sun Valley Lanes when Northwest was in town. She left a lot of 10 pins that day. I think her comment was, I've never left so many 10 pins in my life. Just a solid player, though. Solid player.
Super solid. She's got a lot of experience, a lot of titles under her belt, too. I said earlier she's been a Pepsi winner 2 times. She's been a junior gold qualifier 3 times. She's been a single state winner.
So midway through this final game, we're knotted at 2 apiece. And the Vikings with a 13-pin lead, 76-63. Here's Rivera. Off the corner, needs to cross. It does, leaves the 3-pin. That's manageable. That's really what you hope for when you're in these situations late. Stay clean, manageable spares. Crosses over. Another manageable spare for Elkhorn. Good cover.
Didn't look like it was going to come back, but got into a nice roll right there at the end. Lizzie, another one who comes from a bowling family. We talked about her parents met bowling for Nebraska. Bowled for 40 years, they said.
Wow. Hang on, and it does. 2 big 10-pin conversions for Walton. So commanding lead here in the final game for the Vikes. They're on top by 24 with a spare working. Needs to climb. Again,
make a full spare. Yep.
Crosses over, leaves the 5. So now the Antlers need to string some marks together here late in this game 5. They're in the 8th frame, need to put marks on the board in the 8th, 9th, and 10th with this lead right now that the Vikes have. And Vikes have been so solid here in the 5th. Another spare conversion. They only have 2 opens through 8 frames. Do the Vikes. Big 5-pin conversion. So not done yet, but they got some work to do. Here's Callie Sundberg. Callie just a sophomore. Goes in that 4-hole, which is typically where you put your second best bowler.
And Larry, as a coach, I'm sure you can relate. You can't get too too far ahead of yourself here. Anything can happen.
Right, yes.
Right?
Absolutely right. Stay in the moment, make your spares. Big one here for Callie. Needs to climb. It does. Got it the hard way. Head pin took them all out. And that is just about going to do it. And with that open, that will.
Yep.
Best possible score for Elkhorn, 137. Northwest already 139.
These are hard shots to make.
Yes, right.
You know.
Everything's decided.
Yep.
But how about this? A first ever state championship for Grand Island Northwest Vikings in the first ever match televised live on Nebraska Public Media.
Double pressure situation for them.
How about that?
Nice
Good
spare.
conversion.
Another spare that's not particularly easy to make.
Yep. I believe we're going to have Ella Foshi with the final shot. Ella is a sophomore for Elkhorn. First shot for Foshi. Not bad at all. And for the Vikings, it's going to be the senior. Why not? Your star all year long, Faith Lamb, has led this team, and she is going to close it out with the final shot of the game. And the Grand Island Northwest Vikings, for the first time ever, are state bowling champs. Boy, they had to come through the losers bracket to do it. They were the ones who took down the four-time defending champion Wayne Blue Devils. And they stay hot tonight as they win their first ever state championship. So when we come back, we'll hand out medals and trophies. We'll talk to the champs. It's all coming your way from Sun Valley Lanes and Games in Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Blackshirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Have you ever driven past these fields without knowing the story they hold? Grown with care and harvested with precision, Nebraska soybeans are where technology meets tradition. Today, soybeans are key ingredients in our food, our transportation, and products around our homes. And tomorrow, the possibilities are endless. So, the next time you pass these fields, remember the power packed into every pod.
There's a place in the middle of America where we stand up and stand out, bringing light that illuminates the best ideas and brings change. Understanding the heart of learning comes from the heartland. Nebraska Public Media is yours, a space and community for everyone. We tell stories and amplify voices so that all can be heard, all from a place that we call home. This is Nebraska Public Media.
For generations, Chautauqua Institution has sparked discussion, debate, and sometimes controversy. Now, In celebration of their 150th anniversary, jazz legend Wynton Marsalis performs his masterpiece, All Rise, exploring how America can turn our differences into collective creativity.
Every place was like a temple to how amazing humans are.
Saturday night at 7 Central on Nebraska Public Media.
As the executive producer of our sports programming, it's really a thrill to be able to produce the high level of sports content that we get to do here at Nebraska Public Media. Being able to be out across the state and representing folks from Lincoln and Omaha to Scottsbluff and Chadron and showcase some of the great athletes that we have within Nebraska is really a thrill for me. And I know that it's a thrill for all of the other producers and crew members who work on all of these shows. Takes a lot of work, but at the end of the day, that final product of being able to air these games and know that people are enjoying them, that's just a thrill, and I am so glad that we're able to do that. I think it's important for people to donate for Nebraska Public Media to continue to deliver the same high quality content that we have. To be able to donate to Nebraska Public Media allows us to continue producing the same high level quality content that you've come to expect from us and that we hope to continue to provide for years to come.
Coverage of the 2025 NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, Nebraska Public Power District, Teammates Mentoring Program, and viewers like you who donate to Nebraska Public Media. Thank you. Back here at Sun Valley Lanes and Games as Grand Island Northwest has just won its first ever state championship on the girls' side. We will get to medals and trophy presentation for those ladies momentarily. But first, let's take a look back at last year's Class B state championship, both of them on the boys' side and the girls' side. And let's start with the guys because coming up, it's going to be Wayne back in this situation looking for a state title. They took on the Blue Jays last year. And Seward, who's returned much of their firepower from last year, they won the state championship in convincing fashion last year against the Blue Devils. Boy, and they were throwing some BBs. Good shot there for the Blue Devils, but Seward losing earlier today in the semifinals to Pius 10th. And Wayne was a winner earlier against Scott to make it to the Class B championship, which you will see coming up momentarily after we get to medals and trophy presentations. But last year, your state champs, yeah, they were the Blue Jays from Seward as they took home that state title. Good bunch of guys right there. And then last year on the girls' side, no surprise, there's Lindsay Neiman from Wayne. There's Mallory Ringenberg of Elkhorn North. They were in the finals, but this was all Blue Devils last year. Nina Hammers won home. And the Wayne Blue Devils, that, you know, it is the dynasty on the girls' side in high school bowling. There's just no two ways about it. They have won had won four consecutive state championships. They have won every Class B state championship since the inception of the NSAA state championships. So Wayne, they were your four-time champs, and they knocked off last year Elkhorn North, Lillian Dosher, and Lindsay Neiman right here. Big shot there by Lindsay. Jersey Jensen was the medalist, and they won four in a row. And there she is in her senior year. Went 4 for 4. What a career for Jersey Jensen and the Lady Blue Devils. They were champs last year. But this year, it's Northwest. And for medals and trophies, let's go to our public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSA Executive Director Jennifer Schwartz and NSA Assistant Director Colton Wiersbicki. Here are the awards for runner-up Elkhorn High School. Will head coach Kelly McMeekin and your assistant please come forward to the lane area and present the silver medals to your team. Participants, please come forward as your name is called. Jocelyn Hobach. Megan Erdkamp. Ella Foshi. Samantha Michaud. Lorena Mischler. And Kinsey Castile. For these outstanding participants and their school, here is the 2025 NSAA Class B Girls State Bowling Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Elkhorn High School. Now the champions, Northwest High School. Head coach Nikki Bradley and your assistant, please hand out the gold medals to your team. Participants, please come forward as your name is called. Callie Fenster. Desi Hartford Rivera. Faith Lamb. Callie Sundberg. Lizzie Walton. And Hannah Weeks. And now, Coach Bradley, we have a special award for you.
Thank you.
For these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2025 NSAA Class B Girls State Bowling Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Northwest High School.
Too late. No. All right, guys.
Maybe do a straight line there.
I think we can get her, girls.
Really quick, we got more goods.
State champs, Northwest, for the first time ever, they took home the gold. When we come back, we'll chat with the coach and the player. They are state champs in 2025, the Vikes of Northwest.
Did you know that the #1 reason officials quit is because of verbal abuse from parents and fans? We are losing officials, and we need everyone to respect the ref.
Judges help students to find their voice and become lifelong supporters of the arts. Without these individuals, NSAA activities would not be possible.
I cannot participate in the activities that I love without these officials and judges. So please, let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the judges judge.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
This week on Nebraska Stories, how an early space project gone wrong put Loomis in the national spotlight. Sustainable design comes to life in a micro-dwelling built from local cedar. And informative portraits reveal the humanity behind medicine. These stories and more on Nebraska Stories.
Thursday night at 8 Central on Nebraska Public Media.
Hey. Hey, you. We know what you did. And we think you're just the most magnificent person ever. Because you support public television. And you did it by donating your car to our station. Vehicle donations like yours bring significant funding to the quality news and programming you turn to every day. So now, it's time to celebrate you and all of our supporters that keep us going.
Killer whales are up at 11 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, there they are.
Killer whales are one of the most successful predators on the planet.
Here they come, here they come. This is going to be amazing.
But one tiny group in Antarctica hunts like no others.
Only a handful of people on this planet have actually seen that behavior. We're off to a pretty magical start.
Wednesday night at 7 Central on World.
Coverage of the 2025 NSAA Bowling Championships is made possible in part by Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, Nebraska Public Power District, Teammates Mentoring Program, and viewers like you who donate to Nebraska Public Media. Thank you. Back at Sun Valley Lanes and Games, along with the winning head coach, Nikki Bradley. This started this morning for you like at 7 a.m. I guess
it was an early morning.
I guess if it was going to be a long day, what a great way to end it.
It is. It is a great way to end this. I will take this win for once.
So you knocked off the 4-time defending state champs to get here. You had to beat them back-to-back. I mean, what was your thought going into that when you knew you had to beat them back-to-back?
We were a little worried after we lost in 3 the first time we had to bowl them. So bowling back-to-back, we thought, oh, no, we're in trouble. But we kept counting down how many games we were winning, and I said, okay, here we go. Let's just keep getting our spares and strikes, and we'll be good.
Nick, you've been around this game a long time. You've had many teams come down here to state, previous NHSBF, and now, but this is the first ever championship.
Yes.
What's this mean?
Oh, it means a lot, because we have practiced really hard for this, and I'm losing a lot of girls. So I am happy we did it this year.
You said you really focused on spares this year, and I think that's such an underappreciated, and they came through in that championship. I mean, it was the spares were the difference.
Yeah, we practiced on spares a lot, didn't we, Faith? Every day we were practicing on spares. They were corner spares shooting the whole time so we could get this trophy and come home.
Lizzie Walton had 3 big spares her last 3 times up, including 2 10-pins. Just talk about how big that is and clutch it is in those big moments.
That is huge because she had a ball that would not fit in her hand, and she just got a new ball drilled, and she has been throwing it amazing. So she was a big asset to the team.
Well, speaking of assets, why don't you talk about Faith a little bit?
Faith is one of my seniors. I'm not going to cry on this one. I've known Faith since she was a little kid, and she's bowled leagues so long, and it's been great to have her on the team.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Faith Lamb. Yeah, now we're going to get Faith crying. Faith grabbed the trophy. All right, so Faith, in game 1, did you know you needed 7?
Not necessarily. I kind of just relax, throw the ball. It is what it is.
I mean, you made a good shot, and then after you saw that you needed 7, you had 9. And Matt, talk about what that's like to get off to the quick start and win that game 1.
Just starting ahead is definitely the way to go. Staying up, getting the other team in their head is definitely the way.
Yeah. What's this mean to you as a senior? I mean, right, you've been playing with these ladies for a while, and to be able to walk out of here with the state championship.
All I can say is finally. I've waited 3 years, and I feel like especially this group of girls, it's really special.
Faith Lamb, state champ.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's Grand Island Northwest. They are first time ever state champs in girls Class B action. We'll be right back.